My name is Lucy Udin. I have been working here at Crystal Eye Centre for 17 years. We're a small independent practice based in Crystal Palace. Over the years, we get to see how our patients age and the challenges they start to experience as they get older. Our eyes are having to work in ways they've never actually had to do in the past. We're having to use things like mobile phones, computers, in aspects of our lives we never would have thought of before. So it's really important as we all get older that we're able to use our vision well. So it is super important that patients get the right lenses to meet their needs.
My name is Caroline Cooper, I'm 60 years old and I live in Hampshire. Up until 12 months ago, I was a director of a small specialist business consultancy, but that's now been disposed of. And I now work in a primary school supporting children with special educational needs, which I absolutely love. Working in a primary school is a very dynamic environment. In my previous role, I could set up my screen, my chair, I had occupational glasses, everything was much more controlled. Now I'm working at all sorts of different distances. I'm often working with a group of children who are sat slightly, some are mid, some are close. I'm having to then refer to a whiteboard and trying to work effectively and at all those distances is really a struggle for me. I'm having to compromise either on my distance vision or my close-up vision all the time, which is quite frustrating. I just want to be able to put them on and see and function normally.
Presbyopic products are really important. As we see our patients age, we start to see the challenges that they face in terms of looking at things up close. The Varilux XR series with NVB measurements are a unique lens that uses the latest in science and technology. It takes into account up to 11 personalised parameters which help to track where the eyes are looking when they're looking at things up close, and that's called the Near Vision Behaviour. And by doing that, what we find is it actually enables us to expand that near vision range to up to 25%. It makes the Varilux XR Pro very easy to use and very easy to get used to.
I'm Ian Beasley, I'm 51 and a half. I've got several different roles within the profession, so first and foremost, I'm an optometrist. I work for the Association of Optometrists as Head of Education. I'm clinical editor of Optometry Today. So it wasn't until I became presbyopic and realised how miserable that made me feel. It's just really frustrating being presbyopic. And then reflecting on my time in practice with patients, I'd see presbyopic patients day in, day out. And I think I underestimated the impact that probably had on many of my patients. It's just those simple things when I was going out for a long run and then I might want to check my watch to see what my heart rate was doing. Having progressive lenses allowed me to meet that need.
The Varilux XR series enable us to do things when we are in motion. It gives a fluidity of movement, so we can look at our phone when we're walking about. We can look at things from far to near very easily without having to stop and think about it. We recommend the Varilux XR series to all patients that need varifocals.
So when I moved from the X lens in 2019 to the XR in 2023, I was so pleased with the difference. I'm hoping now as I move to an XR Pro lens that I'm going to see a similar improvement.
To dispense the Varilux XR Pro, we use the Visioffice X and we use an iPad. It does a lot of the hard work for us. The measurements are really accurate, really precise, and it actually helps them to understand that the Varilux XR Pro lens is something pretty special. The first thing to do is help the patient select the right frame for their face. Once the frame is fitted, we then take them over to the Visioffice. The machine then takes over and does all the measurements that it needs to do. The next part of the process is actually taking them over to a comfortable chair. We then hand them the iPad. With the iPad, we're actually tracking the patient's gaze, whether they hold things to the left or right, the distance at which they're looking, and also the way in which their eyes work. Do they follow it very intently or do they scan it? This visual behaviour is recorded and enables us to build the lens in a way to maximise their field of vision.
So before I became an optometrist, I qualified as a dispensing optician. I'm out of touch with technology in the dispensing area. So when I had my measurements taken today, I found it quite fun. I quite liked the way the instruments allowed you to have measurements taken, but you felt fairly natural.
Using the tablet and the phone to look at my near vision, I thought was really useful because it was actually tracking my behaviour as a reader, looking at my posture, the way I use my eyes. That's something I've never had experience of before. And I think that will be really helpful because obviously everybody has a different reading distance, everyone has a different, now I understand, dominant eye. So it means those lenses will be adapted for my behaviour rather than me having to adapt my behaviour for the lens.
We've had fantastic feedback from our patients who are wearing the Varilux XR Pro lenses. Many of them come back to get additional pairs because they enjoy wearing them. Many of them recommend them to friends and family. We've had them described to us as life-changing. We've had patients who are in their 60s and 70s and been wearing glasses for years who have told us that they're the best pair of glasses they've ever had in their life.
I was a little bit anxious how they would feel. Obviously, I've been given a big build-up by Lucy, how I would get on with them, but I pretty much adapted to them straight away.
I think the biggest surprise for me is how good the near vision is. Pretty blown away by the XR Pros actually for close-up.
Every pair of glasses I had before always felt that I was really having to compromise on either my distance vision or my close vision. Probably the second day I wore them at work, I kind of forgot that I was wearing them. I hadn't thought about them all day. I just got on with my job.
For me, the wow factor is ease of adaptation, patients finding that they are able to use them pretty quickly and actually then realise that they're not consciously having to think about their glasses.
When I'm thinking about the comfort levels, I haven't thought about that, and I think that's probably because it's just comfortable.
They've definitely exceeded my expectations. They have given me that really good flexibility of vision so that I can quickly move my vision from close up to distance. My low light vision is better with these lenses than they were previously, but I think the most significant thing is working in the environment I do, having to focus quickly at different distances, both close up and farther away. These glasses have enabled me to do that in a way that's making it easier for me to do my job.
So when I got my initial pair of XR lenses, I found that the near vision performance with those lenses was a huge leap compared to the lenses that I'd had previously. I was a bit sceptical as to how much better that new design could be. I was really quite surprised that the improvement in the Pro design was more than just an incremental improvement.
I definitely would recommend them to my peers. In fact, I've already recommended them to my brother who has similar eyesight challenges to me.
It's been really positive experience actually getting feedback from a patient a few weeks after using the glasses. We tend to see the patients when they initially pick it up and the indication's always good, but I found it incredibly rewarding to actually get more detailed feedback a few weeks later. It's been incredibly positive. It's very encouraging and very reassuring to know that the product that we're recommending to our patients is doing what we hope it to do. I feel that it's great in terms of patient loyalty and also in terms of patient satisfaction. We're looking for long-term loyalty from our patients, and I think that a product like the XR Pro will help to bring that to the practice.